Hello everyone, it's Dr. Tracy, and I just got back from a appointment for a bone density test. So for those of you who don't know, in 2020 I was diagnosed with breast cancer and went through a double mastectomy with reconstruction, full hysterectomy, a lot of other things related to that. I am 5 years cancer-free right now. And I just stopped in January, a little earlier than I was supposed to, but stopped a medication, an anastrozole, that's a hormone blocker, because my tumors were hormone fed. And so you typically take those for 5 years after. I got osteoporosis in my back as a result of it. So even if you don't get osteoporosis, that anastrozole, that hormone blocker, is known to cause osteoporosis or issues with your bones. And so you go every 2 to 2.5 years for the rest of my life, what I'm told, and get this bone density test. Now, this is the easiest of all of the tests because you don't have to change into a gown. You don't have to wear a gown. You basically lay on a table, and there's this arch thing that comes over you, and it doesn't even come up. I don't even think it came up to my chest. It's just your kind of your pelvic area and your legs, and goes over and scans back and forth, and it doesn't take very long. It probably took me longer to get to the office and back home than it did the time that I was actually in there. And I just had to fill out one sheet and go in, so it was pretty quick, painless. And that will help my oncologist to see if my osteoporosis has improved, if it's gotten worse, if it's stayed the same. He had found out the 2-year mark after I started taking that anastrozole that I did have osteoporosis, and they keep an eye on it and see what's going on. Now that I am not on that hormone blocker, prior to, I think it was like maybe a year ago or so, maybe a little bit longer, I started taking a medication. It goes by the name of Fosamax, is kind of the overarching, and a lot of women take it as they get older for osteoporosis and for things like that. My mom even takes it. And so I was put on that as well, and that significantly helped with the pain. So I remember telling my husband before I had my first bone density test that my back hurt so bad, and I felt like I had neuropathy like in my hands and my feet when I first started taking the hormone blocker. It just really messes with your bones and that type of thing. And I would live with BioFreeze. I'd have cans of BioFreeze all over the house and heating pads. And so thankfully, when I got to start taking that medication that's similar to the Fosamax, I felt a lot better. And that first bone density test, like right away, showed that I had deterioration of my bones in my back, and caused the osteoporosis diagnosis. So I went and got my testing today. She said the results would be in my chart like in the next day or two. And if any of you are like me, it's always like you're looking at your chart and updating, refreshing. I'm interested to see, has it improved, especially since in January I stopped taking that hormone blocker, which was the cause of it. And hopefully it's improving, staying the same possibly, but I feel like it's improving. I'm feeling a lot better by not taking that. And I had even gone to a homeopathic nurse, and we did some testing and found out that my body really did not like that hormone blocker. Like, it was very much opposed to taking it. So I was very glad to be able to come off of that. And I know how helpful and preventative it was for the time that I was on it also. So it made sense to deal with the symptoms that I had. And I know that they could have been a lot worse as well. So just wanted to share a little bit about my journey. Whenever somebody has had cancer, it is with you the rest of your life. You're never going to really go a day and not realize that you, or not think that you never had cancer. I even have the scars that I see every day on my body from it. But thankfully, I am on the other side of doing much better. 5 years out, it's so crazy to think that that was 5 years ago, going through that. And the same day I met my oncologist, March 11th of 2020, was the same day that the pandemic was announced. So imagine going through surgeries and different things like that with the pandemic. So that changed some of how I made decisions, along with some other things as a result of that. So definitely glad I am where I am today, and thankful for all of you for your love and support, and just wanted to make sure I continue to share the story and the experience and how lucky and grateful I am, and continuing to think of all of those who go through and get their diagnosis or have those scares on a regular basis. My heart goes out to you. I welcome you to listen or share my podcast. It's my breast, I'm trying to think of the name of it, Tracy's Breast Cancer Journey or My Breast Cancer Journey. I'll find the link for it. It's through Spotify and a lot of other podcast platforms, and I'll share that in the comments. So if you want to share that with anybody, it was a couple months in, but I started to document via podcast episodes what I was going through and sharing that information as I went through. And a lot of people have found that very helpful. For me, when I was going through, I found very few of those types of things. And I ended up finding a couple women on YouTube that were very, very helpful. And so I thought it would be helpful for me to document my journey as well. And any of you know me know that lifelong learning is a passion for me. So definitely wanted to share that. I hope you are having a wonderful day, and I'll see you all later.